Not sleeping sucks. Okay. Welcome. Episode 2 of Negronis with Nord. We've got a full house in the studio, aka my office here today. We've got Tim behind the camera, as always. We have Haley on the couch, which we also had last week. And we have Danye, who I'm going to film a Negronis with Nord with tomorrow. We also had my dog. I was going to have Tim spin the camera around and show my adorable animal, but he's gotten bored with me already 30 seconds into this video and has walked away. We are left just with me. Hopefully you enjoyed the first episode. We don't know yet because we haven't published it. This week, we're going to talk about Instagram. Talk about what are some of the things that are changing on the platform this year that you should be looking out for, you should be excited about, you should be worried about. First up, and this is something that is going to be very exciting for a lot of you, I'm sure you have heard, the chronological feed is coming back as an option. Now, we have talked about the algorithm on this show for as long as this show has been a thing, for what, 5 years?
Almost 6.
I am not that bothered by the algorithm, honestly. I feel like it's pretty simple. It says, like, who do you engage with? 6 years we've been talking about this algorithm. It has been blamed for every woe in the world. Every post that tanks, every dip in engagement is blamed on the algorithm. And this is going to be a bit of a come to Jesus moment to understand how helpful or hurtful the algorithm actually was. I have always been pro-algorithm. I think that there is just too much content out there. Y'all follow more accounts than you probably know. I'd love to have people throw into the comments how many people they follow on Instagram. Let's say you follow 2,000 people, okay? Let's say 50% of them post every day. So that's 1,000 posts a day for you to go through. You know, if you spend 5 seconds or so on each post, that's 5,000 seconds. Tim, what's that in a minute? How many minutes is that?
12 hours.
12 hours? 12 hours! 12 hours of scrolling, people!
Check my math.
Okay, we don't know. Tim's been, he's been out of the math game for a minute. Was he in there? Is he right?
No, 13. I did say 89.
13. 12, 13 hours. 13 hours! The chronological feed is going to be a complete and utter nightmare. And I think Instagram is literally releasing it just to shut everybody up, to prove that nobody wants it, and that the platform has grown to a level where the chronological feed just no longer is sustainable and it doesn't make sense. More broadly, we talk a lot on the show about taking responsibility. Danye and I were just talking before we started filming about owning your audience, and this is something that's come up a lot with Web3, and it's something we've talked about with why you should start a blog or a newsletter, right? So you can take that audience with you. Audience ownership is important. I also think it's important to take ownership over the performance of your posts. I think that if your posts aren't doing well, that sucks to have this big following and to feel like you're pushed into doing reels and you're pushed into creating video, doing all of these things that you maybe don't want to do, that aren't natural to you, that aren't endemic to what you are used to doing. But the world is changing and tastes are changing. And I think the sooner you take responsibility and make a decision to say, I'm gonna do me, or I wanna be, getting the most engagement possible, and I'm going to chase that, and I am going to be a student of these platforms. I just think you should decide what you want to do, and I think that the sooner you can stop leaning on the algorithm as a boogeyman that is out to get you, the sooner you can start being more intentional about the content you're creating, and hopefully have a healthier relationship with the platform in general that you are spending so much time on. But with the algorithm, we don't have total control over when your photos get served. So focus on creating great content. Next up, affiliate networks. Instagram announced this in June. They were going to start to roll out affiliate networks. Like everything on Instagram, that rollout is incredibly slow. We're going to see more of this. It's going to be really interesting to see how Like It to Know It and other affiliate providers do when Instagram rolls out the affiliate program. From what I've heard from creators, the back end is a little rough still, but it's easy to use, it pays out higher, and obviously the conversions are higher because it is the one affiliate network where you can have native checkout inside of Instagram. 3 years down the road from now, you will be buying Sephora products through an influencer. You will be buying Best Buy products through a tech review creator. In 2022, Global e-commerce sales, $5.4 trillion. 2022, influencer market size, 30 billion. Okay, which one are you going after? Instagram is interested in e-commerce. Instagram, I think where it currently still has a leg up on TikTok is it's such a commercial platform. People come there to shop, and they are trying to turn Instagram into Amazon essentially, and they want you shopping there. The vast majority of the stuff that you're buying, they want you to buy it in Instagram, and I think that increasingly through an individual, not through a store. That's coming, and I think if you want to be successful on Instagram long term, you have to think about how can I sell products to people. Whereas currently on TikTok, I think you can still be successful thinking like, how can I entertain people or provide education? But like Instagram, they're going after that $5.4 trillion. That's what they want. You know, they've already kind of owned advertising. Instagram does about 60 billion a year on their ads platform. A rounding error when compared to the amount of money that is spent shopping online. And that is and will be their ultimate goal. Last, not least, maybe not last, we'll see. Creator subscriptions, okay? You know, with the rise of Substack and OnlyFans, that they would incorporate it into the platform. I have always believed and supported that creators need alternative revenue streams. Advertising supported media is very lucrative in the short term, very difficult to maintain in the long term as an individual. Advertisers pay you because of your relationship to your audience, which over the long term, decades, cools. People are most into something at the very beginning. And as we talked about earlier, culture shifts. It's hard to be that person for decades, right? And life is long. Your careers are long. Running a Instagram account or a TikTok account for 30 years, keeping your audience engaged, staying at the forefront of culture for 30 years, 40 years, that's how long your careers could be. Like that's really, really hard, right? And so I've always felt like creators need alternative revenue streams. Subscriptions is something that's really exciting, right? Because if you can convert 5% of your audience to a $5 a month subscription, you can make real money. So if you have 500,000 followers, 5%, 25,000 people, $5 a month, it's like $125,000 a year or something, right? Oh, that's $125,000 a month.
Right.
Sorry, not a year. $125,000 a month. $1.2 million a year. You would never have to do another ad again. It is really hard to build a sizable subscription base off of content that people are getting for free somewhere else. We had, if you followed us for years, we had a platform called Sidecar. It's a little test we built in like 2 weeks to test this exact thing. 5% was our like North Star. This would be amazing if we could get 5% converted. On average, the influencers converted 0.1% of their audience. About the same time that we were running this experiment with Sidecar, Substack launched, and they went after startup venture capital, like people writing business advice. That's done really well, I think, because it is naturally long form and helps you learn, and it's content that's hard to get somewhere else. It's not readily available for free. It's super niche. So if you're a creator who is looking to build a subscription list with this, one, know that it's going to be hard and that you are going to convert less people than you think you will. Have a super clear point of view of why. Your reason for doing it cannot be, this would be a good way to make money. That's not interesting to your audience. You are selling to them, right? You're selling a new product, and that product could be deeper access to your life. I think that's gonna be a hard sell outside of like Kim K. I think if Kim was like, hey, I'm gonna be sharing a bunch of photos that I wouldn't share otherwise, I think a lot of her audience would probably pay for that. But for me, do you need like another photo of my dog? Probably not. So you have to think of a clear, why am I doing this? What is the person getting? $5 seems like nothing, but it's just the act of getting someone to like click on the button, put their credit card in and do it that is hard. It's not really the money so much. Again, Danye was mentioning part of the subscription is going to be that you can separate your engagement and your inbox, your DMs, from subscribers and non-subscribers. Lindsay Silverman, who's part of Fohr Squad, she has this relationship with her audience that's really tight. I think she could sell it and pitch it in a way that's like, hey, I'm overwhelmed by DM requests for product links and suggestions. You can pay $10 a month and I'll get back to you in 24 hours. That's like an interesting idea. But generally, make sure that the reason you are launching a subscription is something that is going to benefit your audience, not just enrich you personally. Outside of that, what can you expect from Instagram? Lots of TikTok copying. Everything that TikTok does Instagram will probably do 20% worse, unfortunately. That seems to be the way it's going. As always, I would invest in TikTok. If you haven't started a TikTok, what are you doing? You need to start one immediately. Whatever TikTok's doing now, Instagram will be doing 6 months from now, and they will tweak their algorithm to make you also do that, so you might as well get ahead of it. Join us next week. We are going to be talking with Danye, our first guest on Negronis with Nord. As always, drop questions. You can email me, you can DM me, you can DM Fohr, you can put them in the YouTube comments, you can send a pigeon our way, whatever you need. Send us questions and we will answer them. Cheers. I had a big, 2.5 hours of sleep last night, which was sick. No reason, just general anxiety. You take melatonin? I had 4 extra strength ones, which should have knocked me out, but alas.
You had 4?
Yeah.
What's the recommended dosage?
2. But I guess sometimes you start to get immune to it, which is bad. Anyway, can you just go to sleep sober?